to take a quick break, or are you good?
Let's take a quick little break. Let me go take a quick break.
Let you go take a quick break?
Well, I was going to say take a piss, but we're live.
All right,
So
we are live.
Save that, but since you mentioned it.
All right, that's good. All right. All right, we're back. Luke, I guess, lied because he said he had to take a pee and he cleared to take a shit. So
you know me too well.
I mean, you were gone for 4 songs, Lucas.
Came out of nowhere.
I hate when that happens. You're like, oh my God. You like take a leak and then you fart and you're like, I guess I have to shit now.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. That was the threshold that was breached.
I guess we're going here. All right, so the conspiracy documentary I chose for us is a documentary called Out of the Shadows. And this documentary is about, it's mainly about, it talks about how we've been getting programmed our whole entire lives to look at life a certain way.
Okay.
But it also goes into a lot of spiritual shit. It covers a lot of like the Hollywood satanic shit too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But the whole point of it is just how we've been getting programmed our whole lives.
Okay. I believe it. I mean, we've been conditioned. I mean, whether it's intentional or not, our culture, our surroundings shapes who we are. It's how we think. Mm-hmm. It's how we feel, how we perceive things. It's inevitable. And hey, if you can harness that knowledge and start molding other people or other groups of people or civilizations, that's a powerful weapon.
Yep. It's a very powerful weapon.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get this show on the road. This is my favorite documentary on the subject. I mean, like I said, it goes over other things too, like satanic fucking pedophile Hollywood. But as far as like programming goes, this is like one of my favorite documentaries. Let's get this show started.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. Yeah. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car.
But it's true, though. Bill Nye the Science Guy, Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, I know.
Like
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, like when I was a child, I was plopped down in front of the TV and I watched Mr. Rogers and Sesame Street. And they taught me, like, that's what they taught us. They programmed us,
I know.
A tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact.
Plato's shadow.
Yeah, Plato's shadow.
Yeah.
Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
So we've all heard the term conspiracy theory. Personally, for me, I've never really had time to get into any of that because, frankly, I'm working all the time and I don't have the time to look into Bigfoot or...
So this guy's I think he's retired now, but he was a big time Hollywood stuntman and fight coordinator.
Okay.
He's like won awards and things like that. It will show his credentials.
Aliens or flat Earth or 9/11 conspiracy or the JFK assassination. It's just, it's not anything that I really have any backstory on. But the one thing that I do have a lot of backstory on, the one thing I do know a lot about is Hollywood.
When you think about the entertainment industry, what comes to mind? Movies, TV, music, right? Let's talk about this entertainment.
I've been observing you.
What if this entertainment was more than just entertainment?
Now in complete control!
When you're driving home from work, what are you listening to? When you
The Bible, motherfucker.
Anthony Cumio.
come home after a long day and turn on the TV, what do you see?
The U.S. are bracing.
Saying that they're one.
Think about all the content you've seen throughout your whole life. A lot of it has actually made us who we are today.
So you don't know what's really going on.
Have you ever stopped for just a second, though, and questioned the content? The only thing we consume more than content is air. But we actually think about the quality of the air we breathe. Maybe it's time to take a closer look at our content.
And fear. Taxes will keep
Our government's always controlled our content.
the fight for freedom.
We've just never paid attention.
Freedom of speech.
Message received.
The police occupy our community.
We work with the CIA to destabilize foreign countries.
This media that we're consuming at such a rapid rate, we need to slow down and think about what we're consuming.
Bullshit going on.
What if the people in charge didn't have our best interests in mind? Now we have to ask ourselves, who's influencing our content?
Is the CIA involved in Hollywood?
Yes.
Guys, come ahead.
I'm rolling. Go. That's good right there. It's picking up speed. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Go, go, go.
So for the past 28 years, I've probably had one of the coolest jobs in the world. I was a professional stunt performer. I've worked with some of the biggest stars. I've got to be Batman. I've got to be James Bond. I've won World Stunt Awards. I am in the Screen Actors Guild. I'm in the DGA. I'm in the WGA. And last year, I got into the Academy, the Oscars. I worked my way up from being a stuntman to being a fight coordinator, to being a stunt coordinator, to being a second unit director. Action! First big job I get, I'm on Batman Forever. And I'm walking around set and I'm pinching myself. I'm looking over, there's Tommy Lee Jones, there's Jim Carrey, there's Val Kilmer, there's Drew Barrymore, there's Nicole Kidman. And I'm like, how did I get here? I didn't really say I'm gonna go be a stuntman. I wanted to go make movies. But being a stuntman was the easiest way for me to get into the business. I didn't want to be an actor because like pretending to be.
Yo, I fucking love that movie, Equilibrium.
No, I don't think I've ever seen it.
It was like one of Christian Bale's first movies. Very
Oh,
good
really?
movie. Yeah. It takes place in like a George Orwellian world where he plays a cop and everybody has to take their prescription 2 times a day. And then like it comes to find out like his wife was like one of the top rebels. And then it made him question everything and then he stopped taking his prescription. and fucking he like his eyes were open to the truth.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's an old movie, but it's very good.
Be a character. Well, being a stuntman, I was that character. I was the guy behind the illusion, creating it for the guy who's on the screen. I jumped out of that helicopter. I was in that fireball. I did whatever was being asked of the job.
That must be really fun being like a pro stunt guy. You're just getting paid to like do like demolition derby and fucking jumping off roofs and shit.
Yeah. In cars with roll cages and stuff. Like,
yeah.
That's crazy.
I've had an amazing career and I've had an amazing life.
2, 1, action! That's a cut.
But in the system that exists today, as I get up the ladder, I realize it's not what people think it is. It's an illusion. It is a complete illusion. We're gonna put our pick and our turning swim. In 2014, I was working on a television show up in Portland, and I had a catastrophic injury. I've done this stunt probably variations over 20 times over my career. It was nothing. It was a small fall down into a stairwell. I did the first take fine, the second take, I knew I could do it better. I went up and I fell over the rail and I landed on the pipe down below and I burst fractured my L2 vertebrae and I was paralyzed from the waist down. When you are injured.
Yo, those markings, that's fucking rough, bro.
Yeah.
I think I went too far.
Stairwell. I did the first take fine, the second take, I knew I could do it better. I went up and I fell over the rail and I landed on the pipe down below and I
like that, dude?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I burst fractured my
brutal
L2 vertebrae and I was paralyzed.
Yo, that I'm not even gonna say it.
When you are injured, when you are catastrophically injured and it changes who you are, I knew from that day I would never be the athlete that I once was.
Damn.
And I always told people as a stuntman, the worst possible injury you can get is a lower back injury. You can break your legs, your arms, whatever, but if you injure your lower back or your hips, your pelvic region, you're done. There was 2 years that I didn't think I would ever live without pain. One of the issues I was dealing with at that time was I had lost the feeling, and I still have numbness in my thighs and on this half of my pelvic region. I was going to physical therapy and the lady looks at me and she goes, "This isn't really helping you. You're way more advanced than this stuff." And I go, "Yeah, I do this every morning." She goes, "Well, what's the real issue?" I said, "The real issue is my pelvic region." And so she said, "Okay, well, there's a woman who works here and she is a pelvic floor therapist."
So how I met Mike, I met him, his spine was broken and he had...
What?
I'm just like wondering where this is going.
Oh, this documentary?
Yeah, well, I got like you kind of gave us a synopsis of what to expect, but it's just funny because like Mike's pelvic floor therapist.
Well, I think it's I get what you're saying, but it's like I think it's just laying the foundation, showing that this guy is like legit in Hollywood too.
Yeah.
You know, like you have to, for the things he starts to talk about, you can't just go, "Okay, buddy, like who are you again?" You know?
Yeah.
So I think that's why. But yeah, Mike's pelvic floor therapist, you wouldn't expect that.
Partial paralyzation of his pelvic floor area. We help people when they have problems with the most important functions in your life: bowel, bladder, and sexual function.
So one day we're in the middle of therapy and she stops me and she says, "Mike, I feel like you have really..."
Hey, what do you, if I just may say real fast, sorry, what did you share? The live?
I shared it on my on
Okay.
my
Okay, because I keep getting a notification for it. That's why I was like, what is he doing right now? But okay.
Dark spirits over you. Can I?
Look at this picture, like, yo, I'm about to fucking nail you all with this ore. Look at this guy. He's like, ah.
Get paddling.
Can I pray for you? And I was like, "Pray for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, pray for me." I don't really believe in that stuff anymore, but yeah, go ahead, pray for me. So she prays for me. And I was kind of thinking while she's doing it, okay, this is weird. But okay, whatever. So for the next 2 or 3 months, I would go, and then every now and then she would stop me and she'd say, "Hey, can I pray over you?"
I was kind of a little bit disgusted with his personality because he was all about himself and money. And I think the Lord had a lot of work to do in terms of humility with him. He made it very clear that he thought I was crazy, but he let me.
After she stopped one day, and I said, "You are either 100% batshit crazy, or you think all this is real in the spirit world." And she looked at me and she said, "Michael, I am one of the only pelvic floor therapists in Southern California at the time. And when these satanic people and these evil people do their rituals to little girls and women and boys, who do you think puts them back together? I do. It's completely real, and you need to look into it."
Wow.
My awakening.
I'd be like, so my pelvic therapist dropped a bombshell on me today.
Yeah. Hey,
So how's the pelvic therapist appointment? Well, yo, she just told me about these satanic people in Hollywood, and she's the one that fixes all the victims.
It didn't happen at church the way that some people find God. I just pretty much had given up my faith, and I'd given up where I was at, and I was just kind of at the point where I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have the best time I can here, and when I die, that's it.
Yo, look at what the fuck is happening right here. It's like this guy's trying a reverse Hurricane Rana on this dude, and the guy's stopping him. He's like, no, don't. Like, this is a weird picture, though. Look at, like, these people are flying. That person's,
there's a
like,
skeleton
sick.
over there. There's a couple.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks like a spirit in the back.
Oh, yeah, behind. Yeah,
like
yeah.
fading.
That's wild.
I still wasn't sure if it wasn't 100% crazy or not, but I was reading these articles and looking at these things, and I was like, you know, I've seen things at parties, I've seen artwork, I've seen statues, I've seen things in some people's houses that just seem to be mimicking occult stuff I'm reading about. So I was like, maybe there is something to this. I'm just going to say this. I didn't find God because I went to church. I found God because I realized that the Luciferian and the other side, the occult world, was real, and that I had been fooled for all these years, and I then got really scared.
Yo, that same thing pretty much happened to me. Like, I got so deep into conspiracies that I figured out, like, oh, all this is fucking satanic, and this is what they believe. Like, they're all occultists, and it's all satanic. And it's like, well, if that's real, then God has to be real.
Yeah, well, I mean, my moment was, once I kind of accepted that there was some type of creator, I'm like, all right, well, good and evil is subjective, whatever. And I've mentioned this on the podcast before. And then when they started with the kids with the transgenderism and the sex changes,
that's demonic.
That's when I was like, wow, evil is real. And this evil is under the guise of virtue.
Yep.
And then we started studying the Bible.
Like, maybe I should start reading this Bible and see what all the fuss is about.
This is fucking evil, man. This is evil shit.
I got really scared because this was the first time in my life that I was having to question my own reality. Physically, I was crushed. I wasn't going to be who I was. And spiritually, I mean, if I'm being honest, I didn't know anything about being a Christian. I mean, really. And then professionally, everything that I knew about my career, I was starting to look at in a different way. I was starting to question my career in Hollywood from a different perspective. So at first, I got off of social media and I made an anonymous account. I started reading blogs, looking at articles. I started reading books. I started watching videos online. I just started searching for the truth, and I was finding accounts that were searching for the truth themselves. They weren't mainstream accounts. These were accounts online that I felt like were like me. They were just looking for what the truth was. I didn't believe I was getting the truth from CNN, MSNBC, Fox. I didn't believe any of them. I just wanted to read it, absorb it, and digest it, and trust what my gut told me I was reading. As I did my research.
And like that's what we should all be doing.
Yeah,
reading
absolutely.
it, digesting it, and then just trusting our gut.
You ever watch the movie The Hunger Games?
I saw the first one a long time ago, and I think I might even fell asleep.
Well, there's scenes in there where there's these like overdressed, over makeup people
Yeah.
that are like very eccentric, and they're the hosts. And
yes, I know that, like that whole spiel.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. That's what the newscasters are. That's exactly what they are. They're dressed nice. They all got perfect teeth.
Yep.
They all got perfectly gelled hair.
Yeah.
They all talk properly.
Like if you notice, there's no real fatties, right?
No.
Like even like the heaviest chick isn't really even that heavy compared to like a chick on the streets. Like it's all good-looking people.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Nobody's gonna tune into like a fucking fat grandma telling us the weather,
Exactly. Yeah, there's no fat woman weather woman.
Yeah, yeah. Show me an unattractive weather woman. It's very true. But that they do that for a reason, to keep our eyes like glued to
absolutely,
it.
Absolutely.
I began to understand there's a very small group of people that influence all the companies that we watch. So they used to call them the Big Six.
So 6 corporations that own all the media. We know about this, just like how what was it? 5 corporations that own all the chicken. When we watched that chicken documentary, remember?
Yeah, Super Size Me.
Yeah, part 2. Yes, Super Size Me part 2.
So this is for like media and entertainment. Yeah.
Yep. Same deal.
Yeah,
but Disney just bought Fox, and Disney controls Marvel, and Disney owns Lucas Studios. So look at that giant audience right here. Say a small group of people control the narratives and the content that we all see on all the channels. It makes you feel like, oh, I have lots of choices, but you don't. Who's telling them what to put on those channels? Where does that lead?
Tonight, the FBI is on the case, and they are warning big companies in America to protect their data after a big Hollywood studio got hit by hackers and several blockbuster movies ended up online.
This is the first time the United States has accused a foreign government of a cyber attack against an American corporation.
And this interested me because I worked over at Sony quite a bit during my career, and I actually had to get LifeLock during the Sony hack. So I was curious. I was like, what was this really about? Well, the narrative put out in the public was Seth Rogen and James Franco made a movie about North Korea. And so they were mad, and so they decided to hack Sony to teach them a lesson. That was a public narrative that went out, and that's what I was like, well, that makes sense.
I remember that too.
I know Seth and I know James, and they're definitely pushed the envelope of comedy, and
Pineapple Express, I saw that in the theater, and that was one of my all-time favorite comedy movies. That
was hilarious.
Dude, I loved Pineapple Express.
Because that weed dealer, man, that's me. That was like me.
Yeah, that was like the weed. That was like our generation's Cheech and Chong. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, such a good movie.
Like when he rolls across joint, he goes, "You're not going to smoke this with me?"
Yeah. He's like fucking. He's like, I said that you had herpes on your mouth, and so said you didn't. Remember when he was like talking about how he lied about the herpes?
Yeah.
Even Danny McBride was hilarious in that movie.
Yeah.
That was fucking such a funny movie. With the gun, he's like, "Thug life." He's like, don't. Back in my prostitute days, don't. All right. Anyway, sorry about that.
Their sense of humor is definitely their own. And I thought to myself, okay, that makes sense.
And now private emails are going public.
It's a public relations disaster.
But what I found really interesting as I examined the WikiLeaks documents was it showed that the heads of one of our biggest movie studios in America was in direct communication with very important people in our government. It didn't surprise me. I was like, okay, well, either they're friends or there's something more to it. So I never really thought about the government influencing our content or our stories. Could they be influencing our story and our content? Like, these were real questions that I never had asked myself. I just did the jobs. I went to work, I did my job, I did whatever was asked, and went home. Never thought about this stuff. So I was like, I don't really know anybody that can answer these questions. And I reached out to this guy who I'd been watching online. His name was Kevin Shipp. And for those of you who don't know who Kevin Shipp is, he's a CIA whistleblower. He worked in counterintelligence, and he served in many capacities in his tenure at the CIA.
This is The Big Picture, an official television report to the nation from the United States Army.
It was an OSS memo, the precursor to the CIA, where they were doing a study of the use of motion pictures in America as a means of psychological warfare. So it goes all the way back to pre-1947, when U.S. intelligence was using motion pictures to alter the thinking of Americans in the United States.
The morale of our troops is high. The laughter, music, and general entertainment which comes out of a single small package like this one have helped to build that morale.
The CIA is funneling information into Hollywood. Hollywood is putting out in the movies, and the population believes it.
Taxes to bury the Axis.
So think about that. Disney makes a cartoon telling everyone this is why we need to pay our taxes.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, I guess this is why.
Yeah, that's very on the nose.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
This document right here is a FOIA document. Anybody in America, anybody can request this. It's Freedom of Information Act. And in the 40s, they were telling you they controlled the radio stations. They controlled most of the mainstream media. They're telling you right here that motion pictures are used as psychological warfare. Why would they stop doing it?
At no time has the CIA engaged in any political activity or any intelligence activity that was not approved at the highest level.
Alan Dulles groomed and recruited Ian Fleming, and Dulles and the CIA actually helped Fleming write his books and paint the CIA in a favorable light. And they also, Dulles helped produce Thunderball to make the CIA and agents look like honorable, cool people. The CIA actually helped him write the books and write the script for that movie. And then the president of MPAA was actually providing intelligence to the CIA as an operative in that position in Hollywood.
Mr. Fleming, in your books there's a great amount of detail. Is this detail based on personal experience? Do you make it up? Where does it come from?
Well,
back then, if you smoked a cigarette with one of those fucking long filters that, like, you have to put the cigarette in, you were probably a pimp, yo. Like, that is fucking extravagance.
I can say it's 90% from personal experience, really. Of course, if I started sticking too close to the true espionage work of today, I should be in trouble with the Official Secrets Act in England, even supposing I had access to information.
That's wild. Like, the James Bond movies were to make the CIA look cool and honorable.
Yeah. Yeah, you even look at today. Make sure there's no if there's a kid's family movie, make sure the father's kind of weird and goofy.
Yeah, make Yeah, the fathers are always stupid and the kids are so smart and like
Yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
you know, the
Exactly.
parents are just
You
like
see that
dumb.
all the time.
Yeah, you do. Actually, Gavin McGinnis points that out a lot.
Yeah.
Like he always talks about how on the movies and the TV shows, the dad's just so dumb, so mindless, and the
Yeah.
kids just got it all. The kids got all the answers, and they
Yeah,
just
maybe
outsmart.
the woman's the breadwinner and
Yeah,
she's the boss.
yeah,
Maybe the
yeah,
dad's wearing the apron,
yeah. Like even shit. There was a sequel to a movie I just recently watched that I shut off halfway through because the young girl was in college and her father died. And when she went to her desk to get a photo that was in a frame of her and her father, they were at an Obama rally and they had signs that said hope and change. And I was like, propaganda. And I shut the fucking movie off.
Yeah, man. Even like, I mean, they're always throwing in like a little bit of gay shit in there,
Yeah.
if not a lot.
Well, like, even for example, I mean, I could show you right now, right? So I'll just do this real quick. Just give me 1 second. I'll go on, you go on Amazon Video, right? So Amazon Video, I'm just going to share this real fast. Remove. Wait, let me give me 1 second. Screen. Share screen. So look, Amazon Video has a movie. You know how I've like you know about Pizzagate. I've sent you
Yeah, I
videos
don't
on
see
Pizzagate.
anything though.
I'm not showing you anything yet.
Oh, okay, okay.
But you know how I've showed you things about Pizzagate and Pizzagate, the conspiracy, right?
Yeah.
Amazon has a movie on it called The Pizzagate Massacre. And this is a movie about two guys who believe in the Pizzagate conspiracy and they like kill these innocent people and they're like the villains.
Oh.
So like I mean my comment might be still on there, but I watched the movie just so I could add a comment. Let's see if it's there. I don't know. I'm not going to take too much time on it, but I wrote in the comments if you want to watch CIA propaganda, press play.
They probably took that down.
Yeah. But seriously, like that makes, that's Amazon making like discrediting Pizzagate by letting that movie go like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's weird how they do that. It's fucked up how they do that.
There's no question about the fact that Mockingbird is real. It started out paying journalists in major media, Pulitzer Prize winner.
Now you've heard of Operation Mockingbird, right?
It sounds familiar.
It's the control propaganda conspiracy.
Yeah.
Journalists to print fake stories that the CIA wanted in the press and fake interviews. And this was revealed in the Church Committee.
Do you have any people being paid by the CIA who are contributing to a major circulation American journal?
We do have people who submit pieces to American journals.
And of course, then
So, I mean, right there, we have people who submit pieces to American journalists.
Yeah.
CIA destroyed the rest of the files, which is what they do. George H.W. Bush came out and finally made the statement about Mockingbird. Well, we're going to officially stop the Mockingbird program. The CIA will no longer pay journalists to write stories. From now on, the program is voluntary, which means Mockingbird continues.
During the Biden administration, sorry.
No, do it. What's
I'm
up?
burping and hiccuping now.
Of course. I mean, hey. I mean, is it even a live show without you hiccuping, Lucas?
It's not. It's not complete without.
We even the intellectual dummies if you're not fucking full of indigestion.
But during the Biden administration, Biden gave an award to a journalist. Like that, if that doesn't say something, I don't know what does.
Well, what was the award for?
Just something about writing something like that. The stories that he was writing and stuff like that.
I thought you were gonna be like gave an award to a journalist that did this. Like journalists get awards, Lucas.
Yeah, but if you're getting awards by the government for writing stories, that to me is suspect. That to me is suspect.
Chat GPT that right now.
Okay, hold on.
Do journalists get government awards?
Well, I'm sure that they do. I mean, I've seen it, you
Oh.
know, but my point is why is the government giving journalists awards? You know, aren't
Yeah, that's a
journalists
good
supposed
point.
to be the ones that are uncovering the bad shit that our institutions and governments do?
What if they like covered the war on the ground the best?
Yeah, maybe, but at the same time, I mean,
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I
mean,
still find it suspect. Let me see if I can find this guy. Hold on.
this is taking way too long.
Okay, so
It's taking too long, motherfucker.
Joseph L. Galloway. Oh, he was a war correspondent and was honored by Joe Biden, and he was awarded the Presidential Citizens Medal, Citizens Medal, post. I don't know how to pronounce that word.
But either way,
yeah. But I mean, hey, you know what? He was covering the war favorably.
yeah,
You
that's a
know?
good point. Yeah, he did a good job in covering the war in the way they liked it.
And yeah, exactly. They wouldn't be like, "Hey, this is an illegal invasion of this country," and
Yeah, that's a good
you
point.
know, a bunch of women and children are dead, and we shouldn't have been here in the first place because Saddam Hussein destroyed all of his nuclear weapons in a field years before we invaded.
Yeah, it's like it's not like the journalist who gets the award who's like, "This is all Biden's fault. This is because of Biden."
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that journalist is not getting the award.
Continues today. When's the last time you've seen a mainstream media outlet do a serious investigative report on the actions of the CIA? There's a reason for that.
That's a good point too.
Yeah.
This would mean that the CIA could manipulate the news in the United States by channeling it through some foreign country. And we're looking at that very carefully.
You say that continues today?
Well, I would think probably for a reporter it would continue today, but because of all of the revelations of the period of the 1970s, it seems to me that a reporter's got to be much more circumspect in doing it now, or he runs the risk of at least being looked at with considerable disfavor by the public.
Hold on 1 second.
I think you've got to be much more careful about it.
Sorry, I was pouring a glass of water.
No, that's fine. But a good book I want to shout out. It's called Manufacturing Consent. Have you ever read that book?
I watched the documentary. That was one of my favorites back in the day.
And that's about everything that we're learning about right now is the military-industrial complex controls almost every single mainstream news source that there is.
Did you just say nudie?
Yeah, I think so. Nudie source. I mean,
nudies.
Probably that too, though.
No, Manufacturing Consent. That documentary was the one that taught me like how the news with their production, it will say like showdown in Iraq. Like here we are, like, you know, on the fucking ground. Like the way they make it like you're watching an action movie almost, and you're like, yeah. Instead of being like this is real life, you know?
Yeah, and music is a big thing that I want to point out too.
Graphics, colors.
Exactly. When you're talking about that, like you're going to the war, like, and then you see a tank roll by with the guy. You're like, fuck yeah, America, man.
Yeah.
You know, and I noticed that when I was watching that BitChute documentary about Hitler, The Greatest Lie Ever Told. Because the beginning of it, they're introducing Hitler as he's growing up, and he's just a war veteran that was injured in the war, and there's this nice piano music playing, and blah, 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 blah. And you watching that, you're like, you know, if you're not thinking about what's happening, what they're trying to psychologically affect in your mind, you're like, oh wow, well I guess he doesn't seem that bad. Maybe he is misunderstood.
Because the
There's
music,
piano music playing, you know.
Yes. That's so true. I noticed that always on Ink Master, where like anytime it was a good critique, the music would be nice, but anytime it was a bad critique, it'd be like, "Cheater." You know, it'd be like some type of like fucking distorted song, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird how they do that. All right, where were we? Boom.
It seems to me that a reporter's got to be much more circumspect in doing it now, or he runs the risk of at least being looked at with considerable disfavor by the public. I think you've got to be much more careful about it.
Platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 There's something about the way the CIA has been functioning that is casting a shadow on our historic position of freedom, and I feel we need to correct it. That's from Harry S. Truman, December 22nd, 1963.
I believe
well,
that.
Well, we've come a long way since then, Harry.
There's something about the way the CIA has been functioning that is casting a shadow on
I did not know that they were going to read that because I wouldn't have read it.
our historic position of freedom, and I feel we need to correct it.
Senator Moynihan proposed a bill to dismantle the CIA.
Thank you. And then he died.
Yeah, no, he committed suicide.
Yeah, then he shot himself twice in the head.
Yeah.
The second time was 1995. Ironically,
and he died of a heart attack at midnight out in a lake on a kayak by himself.
1 year later, in 1996, the CIA established the Entertainment Liaison Office, which was specifically penetrated into Hollywood, and Chase Brandon was actually co-wrote scripts. For example, The Recruit.
We're looking for high horsepower, high energy, very competitive people who are driven by patriotism and a sense of wanting to serve.
But like you hear that music is supposed to make it all sound cool. That you know,
a greater cause.
Exactly.
Would I have to kill anyone? Would you like to?
So the CIA was and is in Hollywood, was and is contributing to Hollywood productions and that manipulation.
The Recruit.
Nothing is what it seems. As I started to wake up, I never actually considered that the CIA had an office in Hollywood. And I'm like, well, I see this, I see that. And I started putting feelers out, like, does anybody else see this stuff? And not many people were awake. But the one person that I reached out to was an old colleague of mine, a friend of mine named Brad Martin. And Brad and I had similar careers. We worked our way up through the business together. And I'm like, hey, Brad, you've seen this, you've seen that? And he's like, yeah, for sure. And so that gave me strength.
No men should ever stand like that together.
Let me see.
A friend of mine named Brad Martin. And Brad and I had similar careers. We worked our way up through the business together. And I'm like, hey, Brad, you've seen this, you've seen that? And he's like, yeah, for sure.
Brothers, I'll accept. Cousins, okay. But no. Two men can't do that on a sailboat. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think I've ever been that close.
Well, you know what? You probably would let a motherfucker put his arm around you on a sailboat.
No.
Yes,
well, I
you
mean,
would.
I wouldn't,
I've watched you get hugged by grown men and you fucking took it. You fucking took it.
Clip this out.
With a smile on his face. This guy went over.
No, I didn't have the smile on my fucking face.
Yeah,
I
you
warned
did.
you.
Yeah,
I go, yo, this motherfucker's a hugger. He's going to hug me at the end of it.
Yo, so Luke warned me one time when he brought me to his friend's house. He's like, it's actually funny. He had to tell me before we went in, like, this guy's a hugger, just so you know. And he's tall and skinny, And like Luke's a short Italian guy, and like he went over to Luke and like hugged him around his fucking like neck
That's
and
right. You
shoulders.
fucking kissed me on the forehead.
It was so funny, and I was like facing it, just looking at the both of you. That
I
was so
felt
funny.
your eyeballs fucking in my side of my head.
Dude, I was just tattooing that into my memory for the rest of my life. I was like, I'll never let him down for this. And I said something to you right when we got into the car too.
Yeah, you're like, that's the gayest thing I've ever seen. Like, been doing it for years, I guess.
Yeah, so I think I could see you doing this on a sailboat with another man.
And so that gave me strength. That gave me like, okay, well, I'm not alone in this deal. And I'm going to keep looking.
Let me just say this. Brad's one of the greatest stuntmen I've ever met. Probably the best.
I'm a very physically creative person.
I remember
I've
all
been
these
action for movies.
Yeah, this guy's another one. He was very big in the stunt world.
Yeah, like
for
Double Dragon.
26, 27 years.
Oh yeah, dude, Double Dragon when I was a kid was the shit.
No, that was the
I
best
excelled
movie
at
ever.
the action aspect of it, at the physical aspect of doing the fights and doing the
Matrix.
gymnastics and doing the falls and doing the driving. I trained really hard and became one of the top stuntmen in the business. I started becoming a fight coordinator, and then a stunt coordinator, and then an action director. Very few people have ever gotten to where I've gotten to, and I'm super proud of what I did. I mean, I had a very idealistic view of the movie business, and I've been disillusioned a few times. It feels very much like there's an agenda in every movie. I realized that it was more of a machine, and it was more of they just needed content to put out there for the masses. I stopped really watching TV. I stopped really watching movies. And one of the reasons why I stopped watching movies is I got into my research and what's going on in the world right now, and all the corruptness and all of the plot twists of reality. And I started realizing that reality is 20 times more interesting than Hollywood. I mean, I was a Hollywood buff. I loved all of those movies, but now they're meaningless because I know what's going on right now actually has purpose and has a meaning, and there are consequences. And once this story is told on what's happening in the world right now, and all of the powers that be battling each other, it will be the greatest story ever told. Like, for instance, I saw something on History Channel talking about how the CIA helped Disney buy all the swampland in Florida. Well, why on earth would they do that?
His lawyers in charge of purchasing the parcels had served in military intelligence during World War II and knew how to keep a secret. And they used several different companies, none with Disney's name, to acquire the properties.
Now I go down this rabbit hole of what does the CIA have to do with Hollywood, or at least with Disney? Washington, D.C. is definitely in Hollywood. I have seen documents.
I mean, there's no doubt about that. I've seen so many movies where I'm like, oh, I get the political point.
Yeah, here's a political message. Yeah,
like even like one of the Saws, I think it was like Saw 4. Like the guy running through the gauntlet was like an insurance person who was denying people health care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, okay, I get the political message here. It was like the insurer that originally denied Saw his health coverage.
Yeah.
The DOD and the CIA writing to the studio heads, guiding them in certain fashion. There's a lot of things that people would talk about that are conspiracy theory, but there's some things that ring true with me. It's like, oh wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Another program developed by the CIA after World War II was called Operation Paperclip. It's been depicted in many movies, including Disney's and Marvel series.
Yeah, Operation Paperclip. I mean, Werner von Braun. I mean, that's just knowledge now. You know.
Yeah, I know.
It's Operation Paperclip after World War II. Shield recruited German scientists with strategic value.
Thought I could help their cause.
Here, pause it real quick. Because I just want to make mention that, like, during World War II, the Nazis were 25 years ahead of every other nation.
Yes.
So again, when you finally defeat them, you don't go in there and arrest and kill all of those people.
25 years ahead of every other nation.
What is that? Are you watching it on your phone?
Yeah. My phone, like the way it is, like the sound goes on immediately.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So I was just checking, but I shut it off.
But so what do? You go in there and you're rounding up all their knowledge. You're getting all their scientists. The scientists are the biggest assets. They had V2 rockets. They had rockets before anybody had rockets.
Well,
they had sarin gas.
I heard it wasn't until after Operation Paperclip was when we started seeing UFOs in our skies in the United States.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Like
doubt that either.
I heard Werner von Braun was like, "Yo, you guys aren't fucking fooling them with UFOs. Like, what are you all talking about?"
Well, what was the Roswell crash? I think that was like 1943. When was it Roswell? 1947. So shortly after World War II ended.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden we're getting fucking UFO sightings.
Yeah,
Werner von Braun, the guy who created NASA, by the way.
Yeah, Nazi.
Was like, you're not fooling them with fucking UFOs? Well, watch this.
And Werner von Braun, I'm fairly certain, was one of the Nazis that was in control of a prison camp that would hang people from the fucking rafters because they weren't working fast enough.
Yeah. Yes, he was.
Those are the people that got brought into the American government.
And when he died, what did he put on his tombstone?
I don't know what.
You'll have to look it up for yourself, motherfucker.
And this is something people need to know because it has been so covered up and mocked and berated and claimed to be a conspiracy theory. And by the way, the term labeling people as conspiracy theorists was invented by the CIA to deflect any attention over the JFK assassination. They invented that word as a way to shut down any scrutiny or this critical investigation of what they were doing. So they started that whole ball rolling. In terms of Operation Paperclip, it is documented. There's absolutely no question about it. Alan Dulles, CIA director, was associate of Heinrich Himmler of the Third Reich. So what Dulles proceeded to do when the Third Reich was brought down was he secretly brought...
What, Lucas?
I just looked up what Werner von Braun had on his tombstone.
Yeah, and I've been watching your face the whole fucking time. Yeah. And what does it mean?
So he has a Bible verse on there, and you have to look up the Bible verse. And the Bible verse is Palms.
Psalm. Oh my God, palms.
Palms. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork.
Exactly, which means what, motherfucker? We're living in a dome. Boom.
Well, I didn't translate it to that.
That's
translate it to
that's
that.
100% what the flat earthers translated to. Werner von Braun, the guy who faked the moon landing, put that riddle on his fucking tombstone to say, hey, we couldn't get past the firmament.
Yeah, that's a rabbit hole for another day.
Yeah, too much for your little fucking fragile mind right now.
All of the top Nazi scientists into the U.S. He falsified their files.
No, it's funny. When I said, like, you're going to have to look it up for yourself, and I saw you looking it up for yourself, I just started looking at your face. I'm like, watch this dude right now. And I saw you the whole time, like, just going from step to step. It was very funny.
That he gave to Harry Truman, making them look like there were no war crimes. They brought these Nazi scientists into the CIA to work for the CIA, and that includes the human experiments they conducted on Jewish men, women, and children, and the psychological studies that these Nazi scientists had done. The CIA was using their expertise for these programs through Operation Paperclip, and this was Nazi, much of it occult beliefs that the CIA adopted and actually...
Because, Hitler was huge into the occult. He was part of the Vril Society, his own, like, secret society.
Yeah.
Put these people on their payroll.
One of the programs that came out of Operation Paperclip was MKUltra. Now, MKUltra was a very complex program that dealt with human experiments and mind manipulation.
As this 1952 CIA memo says, the aim is controlling an individual, to the point where he will do our bidding against his will, and even against such fundamental laws of nature as self-preservation.
In the church committee, MK Ultra came out as an actual program of mind control using mental, physical, and sexual abuse and psychotropic drugs.
Yeah.
Lysergic acid diethylamide, LSD.
I love this video. The guy, the way he's acting on LSD, it's like so gay.
It was one of the first times that anybody had run into a powerful drug that was different than anything else that they knew anything about.
A decision was made at the highest levels of the CIA to do testing on unwitting Americans.
At Ravenscraig, Dr. Cameron went further with drugs and electric shock treatments than any researchers in the MK Ultra project dared. His aim was to wipe the mind clean. Then he would implant new messages by forcing the patient to listen to a hypnotic repetition as many as 250,000 times. This was called psychic driving.
He would give the patient intensive electric treatment. He would attempt to implant new ideas in the mind of the patient.
Now, to a layman, it would appear that Dr. Cameron was trying to take the slate and wipe it clean, the slate being the mind. In other words, brainwashing.
Exactly, that's a very good comparison.
Brainwashing.
Yes, to that.
Hold on. Rewind at 15 seconds.
It would appear that Dr. Cameron was trying to take the slate and wipe it clean, the slate being the mind. In other words, brainwashing.
Well, is that a KGB agent? Is that what they said? He's got a Russian accent.
Ideas in the mind of the patient.
Now,
Yeah,
to a
that
layman,
guy has a
it would
Russian
appear
accent.
that Dr. Cameron was trying to take the slate and wipe it clean, the slate being the mind. In other words, brainwashing.
Exactly, that's a very good comparison.
Brainwashing.
Yes, to that.
Now, is that the dude in that video, that defected KGB agent that went to Canada and talked about how they were going to brainwash people? How Russians were trying to brainwash people in America?
Maybe.
It looks like that guy.
I see. I never saw that interview or anything. So I
Oh,
don't
really?
know.
That's a ruin your day interview.
No. Well, I mean, I've done so much acid that they could test me all day. I'd be fine. Like, look at these people, the way they act when they're on acid. Like, you taking acid.
Yeah.
Like, I guess back then, when it's like, their porno was a woman hiking her skirt up to their knees, like, maybe this was, like, such a wild experience for them.
Yeah.
But, like, I've taken, like, I mean, you could ask Katie, we've taken, like, fucking 10 strips before. And I've never acted like how these people act.
You're doing fine, just try to describe it. Oh, you don't know, you want to give yourself, such a...
How do you feel inside?
Inside. I'm really inside.
Nobody explained it to me. Nobody ever asked me if I was willing to do it or anything.
Yeah, they were dosing like random people at some point.
Yo, I'll fucking pay me. I'll do an LSD experiment. No problem.
They put me on sleep
You can have me for the weekend.
treatment. And now they kept you asleep for 23 days. And while I was asleep, they were shocking the heck out of me with electric shocks and playing tapes.
Why are you letting shame responsibility?
That's crazy. That's like when you told me your ex-girlfriend used to go to sleep to the brown note. That's
The
fucking
brown noise, yeah.
Yeah, that's psychotic. That's fucking
Here, hold
psychotic.
on. Let's play some real quick.
It's just wow.
Yeah, brown noise. Hold on. Can you hear that?
Put a little closer.
That's all I got.
That sounds more like a thunderstorm.
Well, it just sounds like kind of like
It's supposed to sound like you're in the
this.
womb, right? No, your microphone's not picking that up well.
Oh, well.
But I know what brown noise friggin' sounds like. It's
Yeah,
awful.
it sounds fucking like you're in this desolate area.
Yeah.
Like in this desert, just like
I always picture being in the desert in the dark and there's lightning. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
It's like
that,
windy.
Yeah, like that type of
There's nothing
scene.
around.
Yeah, I used to fall asleep to the sound of I used to pick a video that it was an 11-hour video and it was the sound of rain hitting a tin roof.
Yeah.
And that was super fucking super soothing to go to sleep to. But now I just sleep to silence.
It was really like a concentration camp.
What appeal that is? You mind if I look this way? You look that way. Nothing for you to watch here, but you're going to talk to me as we go along.
They couldn't go any further because CIA Director Richard Helms destroyed all the CIA's MK Ultra documents, and they had to rely on coached witnesses. So they were never able to dig even deeper. What they got was bad enough. It was never terminated. There's no evidence that it was ever terminated. No documents, no nothing, and not even an admission by the CIA that it's been terminated.
How do you feel?
I'm feeling better, thank you.
Feeling better? Are you sleeping well?
Yes, I'm sleeping better now.
We could disable a whole city by putting a very small amount on a water supply. After all of these years of us, those of us who are involved in looking for this secret drug, this was the only thing that began to look for the first time like it might be something like that.
So MK Ultra was one of the hardest programs for me to wrap my head around because it's a lot of subset programs. And
See, I'm just thinking, if they put LSD in the water supply, I would be that neighbor who brings everyone together and be like, "Don't worry, I know how to trip. We can all handle this.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna freak
let's
out.
all go to the football field.
Yeah, don't worry. We're all gonna meet at the Grove and fucking
I have some fireworks."
I was really surprised that Brad Martin knew about MK Ultra.
People think that research people are crazy for talking about MK Ultra, mind control. Even if they acknowledge that existed, they go, "Oh, well, that
Zoolander. I fucking love that movie.
ended in the
That is
70s."
probably one of the funniest movies ever.
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
It's a crock of shit.
And perhaps the world's only hope of stopping a sinister assassination plot.
The movie that I did involving that topic was Zoolander.
The fashion industry has been behind every major political assassination over the last 200 years.
I mean, at the time, I was making a comedy and I had no idea what I was involved with. But now looking back on the movie, I'm blown away at just the propaganda.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
In a movie like Zoolander, when they're showing you that they're controlling Derek Zoolander's mind through mind control, you realize that they're trying to desensitize you and to make you think that what you're watching is fiction because it's in a comedy.
Yeah.
It's like a mass MK Ultra now. Their purpose is
Yeah,
to
I mean,
capture
think about it, dude, they're controlling your mind through media and propaganda and brainwashing. Oh, what, like Derek Zoolander, you
Yeah.
fucking retard? You know?
Exactly, like Zoolander, and then he just laughs,
minds of the people and feed them false history. The CIA is funneling information into Hollywood. Hollywood is putting out in the movies, and the population believes it.
All right, so look, here's the deal. They have been desensitizing us since we were born. And I'll give you some examples. Let's start with the big one. Let's start with words we hear all the time and never even think about. Let's start with the word entertainment. To entertain. What does that mean? To bind or hold. To bind or hold what? An audience's attention. Okay, now let's take the word Hollywood. Where does that come from? Well, Hollywood comes from the holly tree. And the ancient Druids, back in the day, used to take the holly tree, make wands to weave spells, cast spells, or channel spells. And when they needed help, they would consult the magi's or the mediums of the day to help channel their spells to the population. We'll cut to today. What do we have in our houses? We have these black boxes. What are they called? TVs. But if you stop and you say the word television, and when you turn on that television, what do you get?
Yeah.
What's the first thing that pops up? A list of channels. And when you turn on those channels, what's on those channels? Programming. They are programming you. They've been programming your whole life. You don't even know it. They do it with your music. They do it with your TV. They do it with your movies. They do it with your games. They have been programming us and programming you since you were little, and you don't even know it because you don't even question.
Starting in 1900, we entered a previously unimaginable time of modern technology. Advances that allowed the rulers of this world to construct and direct our stories in ways we previously never imagined. As a result, new techniques to control the population were realized. These are the people from the companies that we have trusted to deliver us our news and tell our stories. This has always been about controlling what we as the population think and hear. They help create our culture and influence our society. We as citizens only...
Oh, look, Luke, the Daily Wire, motherfucker.
Get the fuck out
The
of
fucking
here.
Daily Wire.
It's controlled by the Jews.
trust them because as a society, we think that the gatekeepers have our best interest in mind.
Oh, no, not MSNBC. Don't tell me they're fake. Oh, you know what? I heard that the MS in MSNBC stands for Microsoft.
I think you told me. I think we talked about this, right?
Look that up right now on ChatGPT. Which means Bill Gates fucking is like the owner of MSNBC, right?
Yeah, he owns Microsoft, right? ChatGPT seems like you're asking too many questions.
I just see you get zapped and you fucking just drop onto the floor like,
It
oh
does,
my
yeah.
God.
It's a joint venture between Microsoft and NBC.
Yeah, Microsoft. Isn't that fucking nuts?
Yeah, yeah.
So Bill Gates, that's his propaganda machine. Motherfucker with his sweaters.
It is Epstein
Dangerous,
Island.
edges here are that he's trying to undermine the media, trying to make up his own facts, and it could be that while unemployment and the economy worsens, he could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think, and that is our job.
Yeah,
that is our job. That is our job. Our job.
As I was researching, I found that most of the early communication companies were developed for shipping or aviation. And a lot of the men that started these companies were commissioned by the military during World War I and World War II. Many of these men worked for the Army and Navy intelligence services along with the OSS, which we know became the CIA. There were many examples of these men becoming the heads or founders of some of the biggest motion picture and media companies before and after their government or military service. I wanted to know how many of the media companies in today's world connected back to Washington. So I started looking. It was like a family tree. The connections between our government personnel and the media corporations was unbelievable.
Jen Psaki?
Google, Amazon.
Where did Jen Psaki go?
Let's see. Who's that?
Remember Jen Psaki, Biden's old press secretary? Before
she has a show on CNN.
Yeah. She came from the White House.
How many of them?
Yeah. Well, that is, I mean, let's face it. That's what, I mean, pretty much everyone who comes from like the political, like whether they work for the White House or they work for like a campaign, they'll get a job they'll get a job on the news.
Yeah, that's the pipeline.
Media companies in today's world.
Like I know that guy, who was it, Strapadopoulos or wherever the fuck his name is. He was like Clinton's head campaign advisor.
Connected back to
not Hillary, but Bill.
Washington. So I started looking. It was like a family tree. The connections between our government personnel and the media corporations was unbelievable. Google, Amazon, Netflix, Twitter, CNN, ABC. So what would happen if all these companies...
And not anymore with Twitter, which is why we're seeing a lot of truth more on Twitter.
Yeah.
had the same political ideology or agenda. We as this population like to hear people confirm our confirmation biases. We like to hear people tell us that we're right. We don't like to be wrong. And we believe that the people on the media and the people that we're listening to have our best interests in mind. The problem is what if they don't? So if you stop and think about it, they can place any agenda on the population that they choose.
I think that Hollywood is teaching bad morals to the youth of this country, as well as adults. Desensitizing of violence to the masses. You can't deny that. My kids have seen so many people get killed in very violent ways.
3 times as much gun violence now.
And the sex that's in PG-13 movies.
Why?
Yeah.
Every Disney movie, there's a major character, usually a parent, that gets killed.
Yeah.
Trauma.
That is true. Trauma.
To the
Ghost
child.
movies
Why?
too.
It's so...
Huh?
We've talked about this a few times. I've been joking about this for years. Like, the average setup to a ghost movie is, oh, mom or dad is dead, and we have to move to a new house, and everybody's very sad.
Yep.
And the youngest sibling sees the ghost first, but they're not afraid of the ghost, and they make friends. And then the oldest sister is the one that, it's like, that's every ghost movie ever.
Yeah, like the parent always dies. In Bambi, the mother dies. Fucking Land Before Time. Remember that one?
Lion King?
Lion King, yep.
Horrible. What a bad story. Why do you need to start a story with a parent dying? Always. It's so sad.
Under MK Ultra, they experimented on children. We were even taught this in psychophysiology program that if you get to a child between ages 1 and 6 or 1 or 8, especially with sexual abuse or sexual trauma, you will split their personality and they will be imprinted the rest of their life. And many times that results in split personalities and dissociative behavior and other things.
Now, you've seen all those before, right? Those hidden symbols in the Disney movies?
Ages 1 and 6 or 1 or 8, especially with sexual abuse or sexual trauma, you will split their personality and they will be imprinted the rest of their life. And many times that results in split personalities and dissociative behavior and other things.
These occult topics are being introduced to our kids, and most parents aren't even aware of it. So the biggest surge with this occult type material took place in the late 60s and the early 70s with movies like The Exorcist, Amityville Horror, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, and Roman Polanski's Rosemary's Baby. And coincidentally, this same time period, it parallels the rise of the Church of Satan in Los Angeles, and it was founded by a guy named Anton LaVey.
Fuck that guy.
Yo, one of the few books I ever read in my life was Anton LaVey's The Devil's Notebook. When I was like probably 20.
So it is done.
When I was a police officer, we had cases of satanic cults right in Arlington, Virginia. Those have been around for decades. They're in the high schools, they're in the colleges, they're in the government, and they're in Hollywood.
I got to meet people like Sammy Davis and that kind of shit. Sammy told me he worshiped the devil. Sammy was like, Satan is as powerful as God. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He says, why do you think there's so much anger in the world and killing and murder and Satan? And he saw my reaction to it, and he kind of lightened up on it. And he was like, the Dantana is dark, and it's the candles on the table and Sammy's face over the candle. Satan is as powerful as God.
But yet there he is with these two satanic dudes.
Yeah.
From our point of view, it really makes no difference whether you pray to a father god or to a mother goddess
or to an entire gaggle of gods and goddesses.
Michael Aquino was a high-level officer in the National Security Agency. He was and is, you'll see him today, a practicing Satanist. He created the Satanic Temple of Set, which he still runs. He was a high-level NSA officer. He's a member of the association I used to be in, the Association of Former Intelligence Officers, AF.
How fucking gay does he look? Like, for real. But yo, yeah, I've watched a bunch of things on this guy because, you know, we have the freedom of religion. The military never questioned his satanic fucking worship.
He's a member of that. He's plugged in big time to the intelligence community, and he wrote a paper called Mind War. And Mind War was about psychological operations against populations, including the domestic population, using Satanist techniques and tools.
Aquino was first involved in MK Ultra operations during the Vietnam War as part of the Phoenix program.
No, first I've been involved in intelligence and psychological operations for about 40 years in all levels of it and across the intelligence community.
You are a lieutenant colonel in the United States Army.
Correct.
Now, and how does the Army feel about you being head of the Temple of Set?
The Army has known about my religion for the entire span of my Army career, which began in 1968. The Army has paid very little attention to it, the same as it would to anybody who is, say, a follower of Hinduism or of Buddhism or any other slightly unusual religion today.
He was occupied a position at the...
What's that?
We need Christian nationalism in this fucking country.
Well, it's like, you know, it's the double-edged sword. It's freedom of religion.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it was Will Durant that said oftentimes a country's biggest strength is its biggest weakness. And that's our
point.
freedom.
Yeah. That's a really good point.
Presidio, which was a training facility for the U.S. government, and it was uncovered that he was running a pedophile ring. I think 50 kids came out and fingered him as the guy that had done sexual acts on them as children. It went to trial. He walked from the trial successfully because he had a good attorney, despite the fact that there were multiple witnesses that said Aquino, through satanic rituals, had abused them as children. There's no question that he's a practicing Satanist. Just watch any one of his interviews.
On this altar is one of a number of daggers, which we may use in our rituals. This one happened to belong to the commanding general of the most elite unit of Germany's infamous SS, which was concerned with black magic and occultism research in general. Anything that it could find that had to do with the origins of the human race, destiny of humanity.
The perverted view of the occult held by Heinrich Himmler was of an evil magic that could help create a new master race. Wewelsburg Castle is where he performed his ceremonies.
I have been to the Wewelsburg, which still preserves Heinrich Himmler's ritual chambers to this day, and have conducted a black magical ritual in the so-called Hall of the Dead beneath the Wewelsburg. This particular dagger is inscribed to our comrade in the Leibstandarte Theodor Wisch, Brigadeführer, a major general in the Waffen-SS. And on its blade, it bears the inscription, Mein Ehre heißt Treu, or my honor shall be known by my faithfulness.
Aquino's thesis stated that enemy populations could be subdued by inflicting a state of psychological terror and feelings of imminent destruction. He discusses the use of psychotronic weapons and electromagnetic weapons that influence the mind. By extremely low-frequency signals, piggybacked on broadcasts of radio, TV, or microwave communications in order to influence and manipulate the thoughts and feelings of the target population. These ongoing MK-Ultra operations are functioning as a counterinsurgency and infiltration operation aimed at destabilizing the United States and other industrialized nations.
I give the CIA a total credit
for sponsoring and initiating the entire consciousness movement, counterculture events of the 1960s.
And like I said, this is a conspiracy that the CIA threw this hippie movement out there to make the anti-war movement look stupid.
Well, we did that episode on Strange Scenes in the Canyon.
Yes.
You know, that was all about that. The book Chaos.
Yep.
I forget if you did that book with us.
I didn't do Chaos, but I knew I did like a bunch of things about Charles Manson. Like I knew
Yeah,
about.
well, he was getting his acid from this hippie lounge.
Mm-hmm.
It was some type of clinic, and I forget who was the name of the guy. This was like last year when I read this book, but he was a CIA operative, and during that time. And why did Charles Manson never get arrested? And the one time they raided his compound there, he got off on some weird technicality.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
History will judge the role of the CIA and other intelligence agencies in unwittingly contributing to the counterculture of the 60s through their intense interest in LSD and other hallucinogenics. But for the moment at least, the argument can be made that the CIA helped usher in the Age of Aquarius.
So this was back then they were talking about the Age of Aquarius, and I feel like they've been talking about the Age of Aquarius forever. Are we in the age of motherfucking Aquarius yet?
I mean, I'm not like an astronomer or an astrologist, but those ages do last like a very long time, from what I recall from being a hippie.
I wasn't that deep to know him.
Laurel Canyon was the epitome of the summer of love. I mean, we saw the possibility of a way we could live.
It's odd because in Laurel Canyon, so many of the soon-to-be stars there, their parents were in either the military-industrial complex or intelligence or the Pentagon. In Frank Zappa's case,
all of them.
His dad was working at Edgewood Arsenal, where they were doing biochem studies, psychotropic, and exposing U.S. troops to VX nerve gas and other things. The family kept gas masks in their house. He grew up with that in case there was an accident. And Edgewood Arsenal was doing this very similar, related MK Ultra projects on U.S. troops. The Gulf of Tonkin is another prime example. The commander of the Gulf Fleet in the Gulf of Tonkin, his son was Jim Morrison. They claimed the USS Maddox was attacked by Vietnamese vessels. It was never attacked. As a matter of fact, they put ghost ships on the radar to make it look like they were Vietnamese ships. The Maddox was never attacked. It was an actual, literal false flag to enable the U.S. to declare war on Vietnam. So Jim Morrison's dad was involved in the false flag of the Gulf of.
That's nuts. Jim Morrison's dad was involved with the false flag of Gulf of Tonkin.
Fucking wild. I'm pretty sure we went over that in the episode on that book.
Yeah, we did.
Kevin, I started looking into Laurel Canyon. I drove down Laurel Canyon to Hollywood almost daily when I first moved out there. And I never knew that there was an old Air Force base called Lookout Mountain U.S. Air Force Base at the top of Laurel Canyon. And what's funny is, if you do the history of it, it's owned today by a guy named Jared Leto.
Wow.
Another tactic developed out of the MK Ultra project was the use of compromise and control via honeypots.
The decision was made to do testing on unwitting victims. It was decided they should be on the fringes of society because they were most vulnerable.
We did quite a study of prostitutes and their behavior. How do you take a woman who is willing to use her body to get money out of a guy to get him to talk about things which are much more important, like state secrets? We learned a lot about human nature in the bedroom. We started to pick up knowledge that could be used in operations.
There would be victims in all of this. As one agency memo says, we have no answer to the moral question.
That's one of the CIA's favorite tactic, are honeypots. And I work with CIA psychologists, and they're dirty.
I always felt that every house should have its own secret panel.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. You lift this up.
Mm-hmm. This is the trap.
I mean, you gotta look back now. The Playboy Mansion was a total honeypot for CIA.
Oh,
It had
100%.
had to have been.
Door opens up and looks into the cave, or what time is called the Wu Grotto.
Oh, boy.
They're running blackmail operations where they're getting very well-known government and private industry elite people in compromising positions at the Playboy Mansion, on Epstein's plane, on Orgy Island, and they're
Eric
photographing.
Swalwell.
What's that?
Eric Swalwell fucking banging that Chinese spy.
Swalwell? What are you talking about?
Yeah, remember, Eric Swalwell? He's in our government right now. I think he's either a congressman or a senator. I forget which state.
Oh yeah, they figured something out where she was a spy, a Chinese spy, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yo, I hate that guy Swalwell. Now that I think about it, I fucking hate that dude. Where is he from? Colorado, I believe.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't even look at him.
Them. And after that, it's like Congressman so-and-so or CEO so-and-so. I wouldn't bring that up if I was you, because we got photographs of you with a 14-year-old girl on Epstein's plane, for example. And you talk about shutting somebody up permanently, that's how they do it.
What happens in the grotto stays in the grotto.
It totally, that's how it works, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, it's pretty simple if you think about it. To control the population, you have to control the people messaging the population. Some of these stars have 20, 30 million followers. That's more followers than CNN, Fox, ABC, NBC. These people have to be controlled. They can't just go off a message and start saying whatever they want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. Like, I mean, I don't believe that these people get to that mega star level unless whoever's controlling the world knows that they're gonna play ball.
Yeah, I know. Dude, Katy Perry, that's almost a third of the population of the United States.
That's nuts.
That's fucking crazy.
Have to be somewhat reined in. They have to be controlled, or they do not get the platform to have the voice that they have.
Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the
He could say whatever he wanted.
Oh, it's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. By the way, it's the same.
That was
big club
such a
they used to
funny
be.
joke, comedian.
Yeah, and he's like just spouting the truth.
I mean, it's the truth, but I'm not gonna lie. I can't fucking stand George Carlin.
I saw George Carlin live before he died.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was funny. I was drunk. It was at the Cape Cod Melody tent. It was funny. But he just was very old, and it was a lot of old people humor.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I saw at the Cape Cod Melody tent George Carlin and Bill Cosby, and it was just very old people humor.
Yeah, yeah.
Over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe all day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged, and nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hardworking people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hardworking people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't care about you at all, at all, at all.
Yeah, where's the punchline?
You know?
I don't know.
Yeah,
this kind of pisses me off. I'm not
No,
gonna
see
lie.
that, but
he's right, but it's like, dude,
but that's the way George Carlin was. Like
Yeah.
he would, you know.
And nobody seems to notice, nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on, the fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe it.
If you stop for a second and you just look at the bigger picture and you check out for a minute and you kind of compare the ancient times to today, well, back then they had like what, demigods and gods. They were like Achilles, Hercules, Apollo, Mercury, all these were demagogues. And that's who the people in those days looked up to. Well, today we have all these people like Jay-Z, Rihanna, Beyonce, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry. In film, we have Brad Pitt, Will Smith. We have all these big stars. And the way they prop them up and they put them up on stage is like they're gods or demigods.
In this room are some of the most important TV and film executives in the world, people from every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Ronan Farrow. He's coming for you. He's coming for you. Look, talking of all you perverts, it was a big year. It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care.
Most people don't want to cross the psychological line that this stuff is going on. And we all have a mental defense mechanism. It's like...
Not for nothing, but Two Popes was good.
Finally admitting there's an elite pedophile.
Well, it was an HBO show called The Young Pope, but then he went into a coma. And then the next season was Two Popes, and it was... I really enjoyed it. I'm not going to lie. It had John Malkovich in it. It was like a serious show.
I remember, most people just don't want to go there.
The Young Pope was
and the same is here.
You said the young. It was an acquired taste. You had to like it.
Yeah.
Psychologically, you lose your safety, your security, and whatever innocence you have when you realize that this stuff is really going on, and it's a chore to cross over that barrier and realize, oh my gosh, this stuff is really happening. And that's why it takes critical thinking. The people have got to look at this stuff critically and see what they're being fed so they can cross that psychological line that they just refuse to see it when it's right in front of them.
When Kevin said there's an elite pedophile ring, well, I'm thinking to myself, this is a hard thing for me to come to terms with. Now, it made me start thinking about conversations and things I'd heard, but I'd never saw it. It's not out in the open. And to me, I was like, no one could do that. Because, I mean, if I saw someone hurting a kid, I would kill them. I mean, I would literally kill them. I would never allow someone to hurt a child in front of me. Things Kevin was saying were things that were hard for me to cross the barrier. I did not want to believe it. I didn't want to go there. But as I went down this journey, I forced myself to go consider, what if this is real? And the only person that was talking about this stuff was a girl named Liz Crokin. And the media had declared her completely out of her mind. But as I started researching some of the things she was reporting on, I was like, there's truth to what she's saying. So I want to talk to her.
I started working in journalism at a very young age. I got my first job working for Fox Chicago at about the age of 17 years old. At the University of Iowa, I studied political science and journalism. One semester, I interned for Bill O'Reilly at Fox News Channel. My last year in college, I interned for the State Department's White House reporter, and that placed me reporting in the White House every single day for a few months. I went on to work for the Chicago Tribune, and my first boss there told me that everything that I should get should be checked over and over and over again and verified to death. That's how I was trained, and that's what a true, honest journalist does. I started covering local politics and local hard news, and then eventually I got my own column for 7 years where I interviewed tons of celebrities and politicians and musicians, and worked at Us Weekly, and then at one point I worked at In Touch Weekly magazine. But then in 2015, I felt the need to get back into covering hard news, and in early 2016 I started working for Town Hall, and then eventually I started working for the New York Observer and broke a lot of election related stories. I worked in media for over 2 decades, and I never had any issues. I was very well respected. I basically was embraced by the mainstream media until I started reporting on Pizzagate. Now, when Pizzagate came out, the media tried to turn Pizzagate into something that wasn't.
Surprises of the presidential campaign was the explosion of fake news on the internet.
28-year-old Edgar Welch was arrested in Washington Sunday afternoon outside Comet Ping Pong, a popular family pizza parlor. D.C. police say Welch fired at least one round into the restaurant floor with an AR-15 rifle like this one on his Facebook page. No one was injured.
Someone on Twitter, whose name remains unverified but has several thousand followers, posted that new emails found on Anthony Weiner's computer confirmed that Hillary Clinton was involved in a pedophilia ring. The rumor spread, inspiring some newfound internet sleuths to start digging around in John Podesta's hacked emails, searching for proof and location of the so-called sex ring.
In those emails, they are absolutely littered with code words, and many of these code words are food.
And yo, if I may stop, this is something that every single time I debate people on Pizzagate, when they try to tell me it's fake and it's been debunked, I always ask them the same thing is, well, what have they said about the code words? Because nobody knows about the motherfucking code words.
Yeah.
You know? But sorry.
Food words such as pizza.
Somebody said,
like, you remember from the documentary Pedogate I sent you how they do use pizza for code and like things like that.
Yeah.
So that's what they get into here.
to me, hey, Dave, search for pizza in Podesta's emails. And once you go down that rabbit hole, you never really emerge the same person.
It was obvious from the get-go that these words were code words for something else because the context that they were used in did not make sense.
To be clear, not one single email in the Podesta emails discusses child sex trafficking or pedophilia. That is a fact. But there are dozens of what seem to be strangely worded emails dealing with pizza and handkerchiefs. Investigators say that those words in the emails about pizza and the talk of handkerchiefs is code language used by pedophiles.
There is some kind of code language. They're just not talking about pizza, folks. Who phrases that? Who blocks out an hour of time to eat a slice of pizza?
You can get a service for a half an hour, you can get a massage for a half an hour, but you can't get food for a half an hour. It just absolutely makes no sense.
There's other ones like, the realtor found a handkerchief. I think it has a map that seems pizza related. And another one is, Obama spent $65,000 flying in pizza and hot dogs from Chicago. Are we using the same channels?
Pizza is a well-known pedophile code word that actually has been used by law enforcement to...
So, yo, what was Obama doing where he had to spend 65 G's on fucking pizza and hot dogs to be flown in from Chicago for a private party?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is that, bro?
That's definitely code. To celebrate all of your hot dogs out there.
Yeah, and even that last one that said...
half an hour, you can get a massage for a half an hour, but you can't get food for a half an hour. It just absolutely makes no sense.
There's other ones like, the realtor...
This one, I found a map that seems pizza related. Is it yours? They can send it if you want. I know you're busy, so feel free not to respond if it's not yours or don't want it. So the realtor found a handkerchief. I think it has a map that's pizza related. What the fuck is he talking about?
Well, not to mention, if you're busy, so feel free not to respond if it's not yours or if you don't want it. Why would you want somebody else's fucking handkerchief?
It's fucking weird,
or
man.
if you don't want it?
Yeah, that's weird.
Found a handkerchief. I think it has a map that seems pizza related. And another one...
Like, yo, a map that's pizza related. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Is Obama spent $65,000 flying in pizza and hot dogs from Chicago. Are we using the same channels?
Pizza is a well-known pedophile code word that actually has been used by law enforcement to arrest online sexual predators of children. And there's been multiple arrests that have been made by law enforcement of pedophiles trying to solicit children by using the pedophile code word pizza.
2007 unclassified FBI document. That document, according to the FBI, contains commonly used symbols by pedophiles to express their preference in children.
Yeah, we've
Notice
seen
this
this
one in
before.
the triangle. That image signifies something called boy love. The pizza place next door to Comet Ping Pong Pizza, Besta Pizza, well, this was their logo until only a few weeks ago.
People don't know that because the mainstream media refuses to cover it.
The entire mainstream media redefined what Pizzagate was to make it sound...
It is true when you think about it. What was the day on the news where they all were like, yo, new FBI documents came out and these are the code words that the pedophiles use?
Yeah.
Nobody ever... Breaking news, FBI just drops the friggin' info. This is
Yeah,
how
this-
the pedophiles communicate.
This woman didn't get an award by Joe Biden, I'll tell you that.
Yo, Biden was like, fucking, we need to kill her.
ridiculous and less believable. And then they had people like Megyn Kelly come in, interview James Alefantis, didn't ask him any challenging questions.
A conspiracy theory that even the DC police say has no basis in fact.
She didn't ask him any questions about the pictures of children on his Instagram page looking abused, being sexualized. She didn't ask him about the pedophile talk. So the whole mainstream media painted him as this poor victim, as this person that was innocent, that was just victimized, as something that wasn't true. But just his Instagram page alone should have been enough for authorities to look into him.
Investigators have already proven there's nothing to the story, right? Well, actually, no. And that's what you need to know. For all that is here, there has not been one single public investigation of any of this. Not from local police, not from the FBI, no one. And that has to be the big question. Not for Podesta or for pizza parlor owners, but for law enforcement. Based on what may be or may not be here, the big question is,
I just
why
found that guy's
hasn't any...
Instagram.
James Alefantis?
Yeah, it's private.
Yeah, you know why it's private? Because fucking the Pedogate documentary came out showing all the fucking images he had on his shit.
I just requested to follow him.
Yeah. Good luck to you. Maybe who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you remember that from Pedogate showing all the pictures he would post and the users that were commenting, then they were going down the user rabbit hole.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
Dude's fucked up.
Investigation taking place.
This is insane.
So many people in the mainstream media have said Pizzagate is a conspiracy theory. Pizzagate has been debunked. It has not been debunked. If it's been debunked, explain the code words. No one to this day, including John Podesta himself, can explain the code words in his emails.
Hey, John Podesta, can you please explain why you have children rented for entertainment for your adult hot tub parties? No one has ever explained why John Podesta has literal pedophile and cannibalism paintings all over his office and his home. Tony Podesta too.
What the fuck?
And then
You saw that, the artwork, right?
Yeah, I have. I have.
It's fucked
and you
up.
look into the spirit cooking dinners, and you look into Marina Abramovic, who's the one that was conducting the spirit cooking dinners. Why are they going to spirit cooking dinners? Why are they sacrificing chickens to Moloch in their backyard?
Yo, that one, the sacrificing chicken in the backyard to Moloch, that was something Hillary Clinton wrote.
Yeah.
This isn't my words. This is their words. This is in their emails.
I'd be willing to debate anyone who thinks that Pizzagate has been debunked.
You asked me when how am I getting additional briefings? That was the first and last time I talked.
So October 9th is the last time you have heard from the FBI at all?
Yes.
You have not got an update on the investigation to your personal email?
That is correct.
So not only did the mainstream media lie to you about Pizzagate, they actually told you that it was illegal to read John Podesta's emails on WikiLeaks. Chris Cuomo, with a straight face on CNN, looked into the cameras and said, it's illegal for you to read John Podesta's emails.
Also interesting is, remember, it's illegal to possess these stolen documents. It's different for the media. So everything you learn about this, you're learning from us.
That's how scared they are of those emails.
Okay.
That's fucked up, dude.
Different from
And
the
that's
media.
how explosive the content in those emails are. That they felt the need that they had to tell you you could not read those emails, and if you do, you might get arrested. Lie.
It's different for the media. So everything you learn about this, you're learning from us.
People that blow the whistle on elite pedophiles tend to have accidents, and a lot of those people have died mysteriously.
NBC News has learned that disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein is dead. Epstein took his own life while he was behind bars.
There's absolutely no excuse for this. What happened here, to me, is mind-boggling. The guy was a high-risk prisoner, wasn't he? I mean, he's a guy that there are probably 50 very important people that have a motive to kill him. We don't even know who they are. It's true. But we know there are some people that are in a lot of trouble because of Epstein. They know who they are.
His flight logs contain names of some of the biggest, most famous, and most powerful people on the planet. Members of the royal family, Prince Andrew, models like Naomi Campbell, famous actors like Kevin Spacey, Bill Clinton on those flight logs over 25 times. Hillary Clinton, she's also been to the islands. So the bigger question is, how many people that went on his private jet, that went to his private island, that went to his massive ranch in New Mexico were also involved in the rape, torture, and trafficking of children?
It hides in plain sight.
Now
Epstein
here,
was hiding in
pause it
plain
real
sight.
quick. Because at the beginning of this documentary, they got into like Nazi science and mind control and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the things Jeffrey Epstein was also doing on his island was doing a lot of like science.
Yeah, eugenics.
Science things, like science gatherings, and
He was big
Stephen
into
Hawking
cloning,
would
too.
go and other scientists and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, he was. All the nerdy scientists were probably going there and getting laid by hot chicks.
Yeah.
And
Well,
he
I
was
mean,
like-
I think it's all it all overlaps, but I think it was more than just you know, these are just. I think these are two pieces of the puzzle that are in the same puzzle, but maybe not necessarily connected.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
We all knew about him. We all knew what he was doing, but we had no one that was no.
I don't see anything.
Legal.
Oh, sorry. It was fucking McCain's wife. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Aspect that would go after him. They were afraid of him for whatever reason. They were afraid of him.
And the amazing thing about Cindy McCain is that her husband was a senator. She was on a board with the governor of Texas. She knew about
Fat fuck Chris Christie.
Jeffrey Epstein. She did nothing. And her organization, the role of her organization is supposed to be to stop people like Jeffrey Epstein. They all knew. They did nothing about it. When Ricky Gervais said at the Golden Globes, "You're all friends with Jeffrey Epstein," he wasn't lying.
So in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
Oh, collapse.
You like to make your own way here in your own plane, didn't you? Right, but...
And how many of those elites have been to his island? Not only is the mainstream media complicit, I would argue that they're accessories in the crimes against children.
She told me everything. She had pictures, she had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like, every day I get more and more pissed because I'm just like, oh my God, it was what we had was unreal. Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago, saying there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known. And I had it all 3 years ago.
Oh, it's fucking loud.
Then what happened in early 2018? Keith Raniere, who ran the Nexium child sex trafficking cult, was arrested. Who else was arrested? Allison Mack. She's a famous celebrity who was on Smallville. She was also arrested for being a member of this cult that was involved in trafficking children. And not only trafficking children, they were running preschools down in Mexico. And Nexium is another example of how these elite pedophile rings exist, because this was a massive organization. This was funded by really wealthy people, including the Seagram heiresses,
Holy fuck.
Nancy Salzman.
What?
So I just chat GPT'd, show me some pictures of show me pictures in John Podesta's house, right?
Why? Oh my god.
Because I'm just fact checking like some of the stuff.
Dude,
right?
ChatGPT is gonna like, I don't know, take that info that you're looking for that. I don't know, man.
Yeah, there's fucking a picture of his living room. But when you zoom in on one of the pictures that's hanging in his living room, like you would just see the couches and stuff. If you're not even really looking, you're just like, oh, that's a cool spot, beautiful house. Then you zoom into the painting on the wall, and it's clearly like some weirdly dressed little girl, like sitting on a stool, like some of that weird shit that we just saw. That same exact style of art.
Yes.
Wow, that's fucking messed up.
Yeah, bro. It is very messed up.
And Claire Bronfman. So obviously they were using those preschools to traffic.
Are you still looking?
Yeah. Yo, that's for real.
I know. I'm aware.
I'm just looking at another picture too. You're going up his stairs, and I can only see half of this painting, but it has to be at least some type of lady or girl in a skirt with just very, very long legs, and it's like a very, very dark theme to it. You know, it's just exactly what we just saw. That's kind of fucked up.
Children. And the cult also engaged in human torture experiments on some of their members. And there actually was a civil lawsuit that was filed by 90 of their victims just the other day. So I imagine we are going to hear more about the human experiments, the torturing, the sexual abuse, and the child sex trafficking in this civil lawsuit. And a lot of the techniques that we see in this cult are very similar to the techniques that our government used in the MK Ultra program.
You guys are branding women with case initials, and they were like, well, what's the bad thing exactly about that? Everyone in the outside world, aka the real world, is like, they're branding women? So I left, I went to the executive board, and I said, I want my photos back, I want my videos
Yeah, but she got branded.
back. The branding session was filmed. I want all of that back, I want my collateral back. None of that happened.
And it's the same fear, mind control, and you'll be destroyed if you get into the upper elites. And if you get to that point, if you start revealing anything, they have the same system to completely destroy you, destroy your career, blackmail you like Epstein, catch you, film you in compromising positions. And this goes both within Hollywood and celebrities and some of the elite, and it also goes on in Congress and the Senate. And if they even insinuate that they're going to reveal some of these things, they're done.
A lot of people here tonight feel like they lost. You know why? Because y'all been lied to. Google lied to you. Google. Facebook lied to you. Radio lied to you.
The powerful people that be, whether it's the music industry or the movie industry, you are only allowed a certain level of success if you are willing to join their club, if you're willing to be part of their secret society, or if you're compromised. They will not let someone obtain a lot of fame and power if they can't control you.
A classic example, at least for me, is Katy Perry. Katy Perry was a gospel singer, very talented, but she was going nowhere. And she got up to Hollywood, and basically they said, you want to be a success? You play by our rules. You step into the occult, and you start putting that in your videos. And now she's doing videos with her in hell, with satanic themes, and she's what? Highly successful. You see that over with Lady Gaga, who came out and actually said she was so tired of being handled and manipulated, she had to take a break.
That this young, outrageous girl wears strange clothes. She's into extremes. She's experimental. She have 43 million people on the Twitter following her, whatever she do, little monsters. And she came really very humble to my house and asked me if I can teach her. We made this workshop in the woods, and she was such a good student. She never cheated. She really went much farther than I asked her for.
She is a limitless human being. As myself, a self-proclaimed pop performance artist, want to go home and slit my wrists, and I am nothing. I have achieved no sense of art. She is so boundless.
Čuli za performance zbog Lady Gaga, odjednom su počeli da se interesuju za moj rad, tako da je prešla sam iz te, mislim, normalne kulture u mas kulturu, što je...
Marina Abramovic, of course, is in the Podesta emails, and she's the one that conducts the spirit cooking dinners. She said that Marina did an exercise with her where she stripped her completely naked and left her in the middle of the woods to fend for herself and find her way back. Those are the kinds of things that people who are behind the MK Ultra programs do to children that they're mind controlling. We know Marina Abramovic is a Satanist. You Google Marina Abramovic's name in spirit cooking and you will find hundreds of pictures of Marina Abramovic's events where they will have, for example, a cake that looks like a human being and they'll depict human cannibalism. And they claim they're not engaging in cannibalism. And you will find A-list actors.
Yo, you didn't know about these spirit cooking events?
No.
Yo, they make these cakes that look just like humans, and all the celebrities are there, and they eat the fucking cake.
That's fucking sick,
you seriously didn't fucking know about that?
No, man.
Dude, you can see the pictures. Will Ferrell, everybody, they're all at these events.
Fuck
eating
that,
these fucking
man.
cakes that look like dead bodies. That's funny. I'm glad I'm bringing you into this fucking world.
And famous politicians and other very famous and successful, powerful business people at her events. They literally have food that look like human beings on dinner tables.
He's Italian and Greek, I mean, you know. And a very good cook. And I'm sure there's something very nefarious about that risotto recipe. So,
yeah, see, that's the exact style that I saw.
After I started researching,
like it was by the same artist.
Yeah, the majority of his artwork is like that same artist.
I learned that Satanists believe that they have to reveal who they are in some way, shape, or form. So that is why we see a lot of these occult members in Hollywood constantly flaunting symbolism. We see the pyramid, the Illuminati pyramid a lot. We see the evil one eye constantly. It's always on the cover of magazines. We see these are supposed to be the 666 devil symbols. We constantly see those symbols. Yeah. We also see pedophile symbols, the swirl or the triangle within a triangle.
I guarantee you this wasn't his purse.
And we also see a lot of these members of the cult go on their social media and they talk about raping children. They talk about worshiping Satan. And people write it off as a joke, but they're not joking. I don't care if you're a major comedian. You can't tell me that's funny because there is no joke about raping children that's funny.
You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is.
takes guts to put out a film that does this, because no one's done it up until now. But when that's done and people see these facts and they say, my gosh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that about the Gulf of Tonkin. I didn't know that about the Vietnam War. My gosh. And they go in, they check it out, and it's all true. And now they're seeing the dots. A good film will teach them how to practice critical thinking, to analyze what you're watching. If we can get people to analyze what they're watching, we've crossed a huge hurdle, because once they start analyzing it, they're going to see the dots, and typically the dots will connect themselves.
Liz Crokin put herself so far out in front that she was mocked, she was laughed at, she was called crazy. Well, let me ask you a question. For all those people that did that to Liz, does she seem so crazy now?
When you put all of those facts together and you use critical thinking, you realize this stuff is real. There's not one smoking gun. There's many small smoking guns that you have to piece together, and you have to use critical thinking to understand this stuff is real. So again, the bigger question is, now that Jeffrey Epstein's been exposed and he's allegedly dead, how many of his friends that were frequent visitors on his sex trafficking island were also involved in the rape, torture, and trafficking of children? And that's what Pizzagate is.
I guess what I'm asking you all to do is just disconnect for a second, stand back, look at the lyrics of your songs, look at the agendas of the movies, look at the messages of the media that you're absorbing. Because it's impossible to say that all of it's bad, like all of Hollywood's bad. That's not true. Like, it's like saying all of the CIA is bad. There's a lot of good people that work in both industries that aren't bad people. But if the people that control the narratives and the agendas are not good people, and they have different agendas, they can put that on you and you won't even notice it unless you stand back and look at things objectively.
I can't compromise anymore. For me, that's not what life's about. I want to send a good message to my kids, and I want them to know that at the end of the day, their dad did what was right. And their dad fought for the good things in life. If I could ever get the opportunity to make movies that send out good messages, and then people start realizing that they can be good, and that they can jump on the bandwagon of good, that's the next phase. People start believing it. It's the same thing with desensitizing with the violence. People start believing that it's okay to kill somebody, or watching somebody die isn't a big deal. When people aren't helping other people in need on the streets, there's a problem in this world. But this could all be changed right now. The reason why I'm doing this documentary is because I want to be one of the first people to come out and say, hey, it doesn't have to be like this. We are good people. Humans are good, and we can make the world a better place. Because the money and the technology to make this world a better place is there. It's just been covered up and controlled for so long that it's time for it all to come out. And maybe I'm the catalyst for something better.
What does the media look like in the future? Well, to me, what I would hope is that it's not filtered. I would love to build a platform or build some sort of system where artists could connect directly to their audience. I want to make products and tell stories that bring humanity together, that bring compassion, that bring love, that bring forgiveness, that bring inspiration and courage back to the audience without having the influence of violence or gratuitous sex or gratuitous death or gratuitous horror. Because those are things and images that get stored in our psyche and our soul, and I don't think that's the way that this earth was intended to be.
So what'd you think of the documentary, Lucas?
Yeah, that was good. That was good. I mean, I believe it.
Yeah, right?
I believe it. I've just read too many books. I mean, what was it? We mentioned it. The Noam Chomsky book, Manufacturing
Manufacturing
Consent,
consent. Yep.
Strange Scenes in the Canyon, Operation Paperclip,
Yep.
um, that Chaos, just to name a few. That's
Mm-hmm.
just off the top of my head. You know, I mean, everything is propaganda. I mean, we talk about it a lot. They slip in little messages in movies, slip in
Music.
little values in movies, you
Yeah.
know, make you think a certain way, you know.
Well, look at like we talked about. Like, you don't think that gangster rap music was created by the CIA to tear up the black community?
Yeah, and think about all rap has kind of the same theme.
Yeah,
And if you're
killing
not
each other.
rapping about selling drugs and promiscuous sex and shooting people,
Yeah, and
then
killing
you're
each
not
other.
really mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're a woman rapper, it's how you have a juicy pussy and a fat ass and you're
Yep.
gonna ride dick all day.
Yeah.
And if you don't rap about that, then you're not gonna be really mainstream, you know.
Exactly. You're not going to get that to that level that they, that people superstars get at.
Exactly, you know. So
Now, what do you think about the little occult twist to everything? Seeing that you and I are in the religion
yeah.
sphere now.
It's weird because I think it's got me thinking about spirituality and religion a little bit different. Um,
Like, say, for example, Hollywood is from the holly tree that the fucking druids
yeah,
use to cast spells, like the television channels programming. Like, what do you
yeah. I
think of
think
all that?
that there is definitely truth to a lot of that stuff. It's got like hidden meaning or
Yes.
meaning that's been lost in translation and or time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely got me thinking about spirituality and things differently because like as far as like religion goes, whether it's Christianity or Satanism, the people do believe that it's real.
Exactly. That's what I was trying
You
to
know,
tell
they
you.
believe that it's real. They see that it's real. You know, it's proven to them. So is this are religions kind of like almost like now I'm gonna have to think on this for a while to find a proper way to describe it. But is it like a psychological energy that people have that gets manifested into something that's subjectively real?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like where I'm at right now. I mean, hopefully I described that right. I'm gonna have to think about this for a little while
Yeah, work on it.
to kind of be more articulate about it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of like where I'm at right now. Because like doing bad things like feels good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when you do bad things, it's almost like you have to do this bad thing to achieve this energy level of I don't even know how to describe it. Kind of like when you beat the fuck out of somebody that you really want to beat the fuck out of. You're like, yeah, motherfucker. You know, I don't know. I get kind of, I don't know. I got to think about it. But it's got me thinking about this stuff a little differently for
But even
sure.
like, say, for example, movies, music, it's okay to bash Christianity and Jesus,
Yeah,
but no other religion ever gets bashed.
I know. I
When
know.
you think about that, no other religion gets disrespected like how Christianity does.
Yeah, I know.
Like, they had some play where a black lesbian played Jesus
Yeah,
on Broadway. Like, no other religion would be disrespected like that.
I know. I know.
But they do it for Christianity for some reason.
They do it
Why?
because that's probably the enemy of
Their
their
agenda.
control. Because
Yeah.
when you watch that, when I mentioned that KGB guy that defected to Canada and what he was talking about, one of the things that he mentions was the hardest people to brainwash are like religious conservatives because they have values. They're grounded in something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's hard to manipulate them because they again they have values. They're grounded in something. But
Mm.
somebody that doesn't really give a shit about religion is adheres to materialism and watches movies and eats good food, and that's life to them. That's an easy person that you can manipulate. That's an easy person that you can scare.
Even when that guy said for children, the best ages to get at him is between 1 and 8.
Yeah.
So you think about that. So 1 and 8, those are just children. What are we seeing now on Netflix? Kids programs that are pushing a trans agenda.
Yeah, trans agenda, gay agenda, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Even there was this woman on the internet, I think her name's called Miss Rachel. And my niece and nephew used to watch them, and she's just like playing the banjo, like, hey, it's for Apple, like shit like that. And then all of a sudden there was some transgender woman on there. Well, I don't know if she was transgender, but let's just say she was
not human.
Not straight. She wasn't dressing straight. She didn't look straight.
Uh-huh.
She just had that look. And it was quite obvious what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And my niece and nephew never watched that shit ever again after that.
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
Yeah. But
like even TikTok, I think TikTok was created by China to get the American youth to like China.
Yeah, or even, to destroy our values, to make us dumber,
mm-hmm.
to control us, to propagandize us.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes with everything, That goes with fucking everything.
Yep.
Shit, man, we should start watching some fucking kids movies and being like, yo, what the fuck?
Breaking them down.
Like that Monsters, Inc. There's a picture of two people fucking on the side there.
Yo, and what were they doing in Monsters, Inc.?
They were going into kids' bedrooms and scaring
and doing them. What? And scaring them to get the adrenochrome.
Yeah.
Which is what they say the elites drink to stay younger.
Yeah,
that whole adrenochrome conspiracy, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
That's what they're doing in Monsters, Inc. is they're scaring the kids, and then you see that that vial fill up, and that's what they're getting.
Yeah.
And that's part of like what they say in this documentary. They do that shit to desensitize you, like Zoolander.
Yeah.
Oh, the CIA mind control, like Zoolander, or like, oh, they're getting the adrenochrome, like in Monsters, Inc. Like, okay,
yeah.
What did what did that just like blow your mind?
No, I'm just thinking about all these different things, like in the Lion King, how they had the hidden picture of like the curvature of the woman there.
Yeah.
And I've seen I have seen other documentaries where it's like, oh look, this is actually that's not the guy's leg, it's a fucking cock or something.
No, when I was a kid, our cousin, my Aunt Kathy, had the old like Disney VHS tape of Aladdin, and we used to look at the penis and laugh all the time.
Yeah.
And then they like re-released it without the penis.
Yeah. It's like the fact that they even put it in there.
That's just what they're doing. These just hidden in plain sight.
Yeah. Shit. I remember I had an action figure of Catwoman, and just the tits on that fucking action figure. I was like, this is a naked woman.
Yeah, like you're a kid and you're getting a hard on for this.
Yeah, exactly.
Figure, and you shouldn't be. You definitely shouldn't be.
Yeah. Fucking crazy.
But hey, man, we are at 3 hours and 2 minutes.
Well, if you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, and let us know what you motherfucking think about this shit.
Yeah, I believe in it all, so.
I think I do too. I motherfucking do too.
Nice, alright. I'm gonna end this stream. Bam.